On August 28, 1963, in Belo Horizonte, Brazil, a truly strange, close encounter of the third kind would happen. 7-year-old José Marcos Gomes Vidal went to eat dinner and play with his friends, brothers Fernando and Ronaldo Gualberto. After eating dinner, the boys headed in the backyard so that they could wash the coffee strainer in a water barrel. As Jose began washing the strainer, a strange glow would appear in the backyard. Initially, Fernando, 12 years old, would see it as Jose was hunched over in the barrel and Ronaldo was around the side of the house. As Fernando looked up at the light source, what he saw next would truly shock him. A craft, around 25 feet away, was hovering in the sky. Inside the UFO, there was light, yet the walls were seemingly transparent. The craft was circular and small in size, only being around 12 feet in diameter, less than the average length of a car, which is 14 feet. It had a V-shaped antenna coming from the top of the ship. At this time, Ronaldo, walking toward the back, saw the light and wondered what it could be. He then saw the craft as well. As Fernando and Ronaldo looked in the craft, they saw several rows of beings. The beings all appeared 7 feet tall and had one large eye. They wore tight, fitted brown diving suits. There were 4 total, with one appearing to be driving the craft. It appeared they were watching Jose or observing our planet. Then a yellow light would shoot down to the ground and one of the beings would levitate down toward the boys. Once it reached the ground, it began walking toward Jose. Jose, at this point, was turned around in the barrel and was unaware of what was happening. The being reached out its arm toward Jose, and scared he was going to be taken, Fernando tackled Jose. Jose then realized what was going on. It is thought the beings didn't see Fernando or Ronaldo and were going to abduct Jose. At this point, all 3 of the boys had witnessed the creature. The being was around 3 meters tall, thin, and wore a transparent helmet. It had no ears or mouth and was completely hairless. Perhaps the oddest thing about this creature was that it had one giant brown eye that could be seen through the helmet. The being had high boots that left triangle-shaped footprints on the ground. The entity then began making hand signals and speaking in a strange language the boys didn't understand. After around a minute, it turned around and began communicating with hand signals to the craft. At this point, Fernando picked up a brick, but as he was winding up, the Cyclops alien turned around and saw him. The being suddenly shot Fernando's hand, with a light forcing him to drop the brick. The boys were then put in a frozen state, and the creature began speaking again. The boys had no clue what it was saying, but gathered that it was very serious and threatening. After this, the being walked back toward the ship, and 2 yellow lights shot down again. It hovered up into the craft, and the UFO disappeared into the horizon. Once the craft was gone, the boys ran in the house, terrified, and told their mother what had happened. Soon the father would return home and found triangle footprints in the yard. This case, known as the Sagrada Familia case, since it occurred in the Sagrada Familia neighborhood of Belo Horizonte, is surely a fascinating case. While there were no other witnesses who saw specifically what the boys saw, the mother of Fernando and Ronaldo did see a light coming in the window while the boys were outside. Perhaps the most interesting aspect of the case has to do with the aliens themselves. Tales of Cyclops have been told for centuries in both ancient Greece and ancient Rome, most notably in Homer's Odyssey. But modern science assures us that one-eyed beings never existed on planet Earth. There is a medical condition called Cyclopia that can result in a baby being born with only one eye in the middle of the forehead, but this is extremely rare. and even with advanced medicine, most fetuses never survive till birth. This all raises the question, did this event occur? It seems unlikely that 3 boys, questioned by adults and police, would be able to create such a story. 2 of the boys were 7 at the time, and the oldest, Fernando, was 12. While most alien sightings tend to be gray aliens or Nordics, there are plenty of cases with very strange and unusual aliens. In time, there might be more documented encounters with this type.